Hey, it's Barefoot Ken here, and let's go for a little walk, shall we? And unfortunately, living here in New York, January has been a little bit cold for barefoot running. But here we are, and it's a nice day if you like snow. And let's go for a little walk in the snow. Because the truth is, as long as it's not too cold, walking barefoot in snow is comfortable. Or, it depends on the conditions. I do a lot of running, but what I've found is that when the temperatures drop below 40, at least for myself, running at the track or on pavement, it starts to become a little bit of a risky proposition. I might end up with some very small nicks or blisters, particularly if it's wet. Wet, running hard, and a hard surface or a rough surface can be a bad combination. Also, if you run hard, the blood flow tends to accumulate in your leg muscles and your core muscles, leaving less for the extremities. And so, if you're not careful, you can get a little bit of frostnip, which can be quite painful. Walking in snow, the real question is, how long can you go before your skin turns numb? And obviously, that's going to happen to any body part when it's exposed to cold temperatures long enough. One thing you can do is dress warm, so that that means there's more warm blood available for the feet. Another thing you can do is try to keep moving at a brisk pace to generate some body warmth. Of course, that depends on the surface. Are the conditions good enough to allow you to move quickly, or would you start to slip or risk falling if it's slippery? Another consideration is the surface. So this is soft snow, fresh snow sitting on top of grass, so it's a pretty forgiving and safe surface. But, for example, if you're walking on snow with a hard, crisp layer on top, that can be sort of dangerous because you can cut yourself on those icy edges. You can cut yourself on ice that's underlying the snow. And a cut together with frostnip, again, can be very painful. If you push the envelope, you may discover some of these limits. And think about our ancestors. They certainly had to make tough decisions about staying in their caves or going out into the snowy wilderness in search of food. So hunger versus cold injury is a decision you'd have to be very thoughtful about. The other consideration for snow is how deep is it? So the bottom of the feet are very, in my experience, and I think others, the bottom of the feet are very durable, and the skin is thick, and they won't lose heat as quickly. But the sides of your feet, the skin is very thin. So like the ankles, as the snow starts to press up towards your ankle or onto the top of your feet, that's going to chill your feet much more quickly. So I've done a short walk out here. My feet are starting to get cold for sure. But, one of the best, some of the best advice you'll hear from barefooters is the phrase, numb is dumb. So as your feet go numb, you're going to run the risk that you're starting to injure them and not knowing about it. So caution is certainly warranted while walking or running in the snow. And you're going to have to take responsibility for knowing where those limits are. Otherwise, you run the risk of doing a lot of damage to yourself. Other conditions and considerations: not much sun today. Sun helps keep you warm. Conversely, wind chills you quickly. So it's not just a question of this exact temperature I'm good at and below it I'm not. Those are just guidelines because the other weather conditions matter too. Okay, so that's our little short walk in the snow. But one thing is, you don't need to be afraid about it being painful. If anything, be cautious when it's not painful. Numb is dumb. Remember that and have fun.